Alright, so, you found this game called Sonic.ExE The Disaster, and you enter a match to see all these different characters and maps you can choose from, and you have no clue what you're doing. Well, no worries, because I'm going to be here just to help. This channel has been created to create guides, tutorials, and tips for the characters, maps, and even mechanics and ideals in this goofy-ass game, so let's just get straight into it. The first thing that we must talk about, and Tails' most important ability, is the arm cannon. The arm cannon is a ranged stun ability that lands for about 15 seconds when you activate it, taking 2 seconds to load. In this game, stuns are the most valuable thing. Stunners are basically characters who can immobilize Sonic by timing an attack onto him, usually punch via Knuckles and hammer swing via Amy. But, in this case, Tails doesn't run up to them like those two characters, or most stunners in general. Tails' arm cannon is a ranged stun, like I've said before, which means you instead want to keep your distance and shoot that gremlin from a good bit away, because trust me, hitting Sonic up close will most likely end in you missing and even suffering a hit because of it. It's not impossible to land close-up shots, but it's definitely rare. So, probably the biggest question that most Tails players have is, how do you land your arm cannon shots? It's a little bit, not that complicated, but it's just a little bit hard. Tails' arm cannon has a delay when you shoot, around half a second or 0.5 seconds. The point of that delay is to predict Sonic's movement just right so you can cut him off and blast him. It will take a lot of time to get used to, however, and the timing is hard at first, especially when you're playing up against good EXEs. But I reassure you, the more you practice, the more you play, the better you'll get. The best strategy I use to land shots with Tails is placing my cursor on a survivor, being chased, and following their movements. Moving around a little bit as well before shooting my shot. For me, it works a lot of the time, and I've saved a lot of people because of it. But other times, the EXE may be aware and just drop their target to lunge at you instead. Now, you're probably questioning, why would they just drop their target like that and just head for me? Doesn't make any sense. A little bit stupid. Well, the reason why is because of a big issue with Tails, and it's only when you have your arm cannon active, which is your slowdown. When you're using your arm cannon, you lose the ability to run and jump, making you a very easy target to being attacked, especially grabbed. This makes Tails one of the most easiest characters to hit in the entire game when you don't know what you're doing. Always be aware of your surroundings when you are activating your arm cannon, because you can't always see Sonic since he can go invisible at any time. Now, let's talk about Tails' second ability, the glide. To activate the glide, you need to be in midair before using the glide ability, usually E on PC, or whatever it is on any other device. The glide is self-explanatory, but it's also a little bit different compared to 1.0 and any other version really. It slows your fall to a good degree, making it extremely useful to get away from Sonic, and sometimes even stall time. The most useful feature about it, however, is the energy bar, because when you hold the jump button, you can glide upwards, giving you more mobility options and ultimately a better way to stall. A huge thing I recommend you do is what I like to call a fake out. Basically, when you glide off an edge, Sonic will most likely stand at that spot that you were gliding off of and wait for you to glide back. What you can do instead is pretend that you're not going to glide back, which most of the time will make Sonic jump off the cliff and wait for you to fall down to him, but then glide right back up to that edge that you were at before and run away. This is an amazing way to stall time, since a lot of the time, Sonic will either have to backtrack to get back to chasing you, or he'll just have to give up chasing you entirely and go after someone else, making it more efficient to stay alive. And, one more thing. Tails can activate his arm cannon while gliding, making it super useful as well in terms of just getting better height in general to land shots. However, this includes your glide speed being incredibly slow as well. It is also a bit more higher, it's a little bit more higher in difficulty, since you can't really hit Sonic that easily from above, since at any point he can just start moving in every direction, making it a little bit more harder to, just miss your shots entirely. But since you are midair, most of the time Sonic will not be aware of you being around him. That means that you actually can land a shot as they're being distracted, chasing someone else, or even camping the body, which can ultimately save the survivor's life as well as yours. And a tip to you guys: when you see that a teammate's body is outlined in red from a distance, that means that they have been downed. They will be slowly bleeding out, but that doesn't mean that you can't really do anything about it. Instead, you should go revive them. I recommend that you actually go over to the outlined player and pressing R or the revive button on any other device when you're on top of their body to revive them. This is the most essential part of being a teammate, since letting your teammate just bleed out will most likely end in your team falling apart faster and ultimately ending you along with it. And you don't want to fucking die. If someone else has been down while the timer reaches 80 seconds, opening an exit, you have a choice to go back and save your down teammate. There is mostly nothing wrong with just leaving to the exit, since in the end it'll just mean your team wins anyways. But trust me, players will be flacking and yelling at you for not picking them up. Don't let the in-game chat ruin your experience though, it is just a moral choice. And one last thing to be sure, when you see that Sonic.ExE is just on a downed player's body and not moving out of it, you should not go pick them up. The reason why is because camped players are not gonna take bleeding damage. They will not get hurt at all until Sonic gets out of his body and goes somewhere else. This means that, you can usually just stall time and let Sonic just stay there until it reaches 80 seconds. Then you can go revive them. That is, if they do camp them for the entire game, since there's a lot of players with a bunch of different play styles. That includes just camping for whatever reason. And if you play 1.2 or 1.0, you will know that camping is a major issue, especially with hammer camping. But you'll be fine. Just make sure, do not revive players that are being camped, and if you're EXE, do not camp bodies yourself. That will just make you waste time. Just go with the flow, man. That's all. That is everything I would like to talk about for our Tales guide today. I hope this has helped you, and let me know in the comments on what tutorial I should make next. I don't only play TD, ignoring the fact that this channel was made with it in mind, so if you want to see just some goofy gameplay of me and some friends or even viewers, please let me know. I'm glad to be posting videos, and I hope you have a wonderful day today. And I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good one.